Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Arm Wrestling Simulator, where today I'm going to be giving you guys the ultimate guide on how to virtually just defeat this game. And that means, of course, getting a ton of strength, a ton of wins, getting the best arms in the game, how to get the best pets in the game, and how to unlock the very final world in the game without spending a single Robux. Now, obviously, this is my main account where I have purchased basically every game pass and have spent a lot of Robux, but I have other accounts that are completely free to play, and within 24 hours on this account, I was able to get all the way up to World 6. And of course, if I kept playing, I would easily be able to reach World 7 again without spending a single Robux. And so since this is a long video, let's go ahead and jump right into things. Now, since this is an ultimate guide going over everything in Arm Wrestling Simulator, I thought I should at least mention, if you guys are going to buy any game passes, which ones provide the best value, because some of these you really don't need and they're a big waste, while others will give you a huge boost in this game for relatively few Robux. Now, the first one is going to be the VIP pass. It gives you a 3x training multiplier and makes it so that when you fight a boss, instead of it going 3, 2, 1, like you just saw right here on this account, and instead it just goes 1, go. So you're able to beat bosses faster, which ends up being a huge help later on down the line. The second one would be this right here, the best value bundle. It doubles your strength for hand grips, bicep power, and knuckle strength, which is weird because they still have like this, the double hand strength one. So yeah, don't get this, just get the best value bundle. And then lastly, if you have some more Robux burning a hole in your pocket, the double wind is very helpful. So is fast hatch. And if you really got Robux burning a hole in your pocket, the 8x egg opening is hugely helpful. But now with the pay to win players all taken care of, let's go and get started helping out all of you free to play players. Now there are 3 different ways to gain strength within Arm Wrestling Simulator to help you get enough strength to beat the bosses and escape the different worlds so you can progress through the game. That being hand grip strength, bicep strength, and knuckle strength over here with these punching bags. And believe it or not, each gym has a strength gaining method that is most optimal for the gym based on how the developers balanced it. And so for the first gym, it would either be using the max grip strength or using the max weighted barbell. For the second gym, the best way to get strength is using this max weighted hand strength gripper. But I do want to note that if you do have access to the VIP punching bag, for the first and second gym, this will be the best way to get strength, but it does also require Robux. Again, same thing here. If you have access to the VIP punching bag in the third gym, then that'll be the way to go. If you don't, train up your grip strength until you unlock the 45,000 kilogram gripper, and this will be the best way to gain strength. Now in World 4, this is where things change, because you're going to need to train up your bicep power to the point where you have enough strength so that you could pick up this huge barbell over here on the very end. Once you can, using this barbell in World 4 by far the fastest way to gain strength. Even if you have access to the VIP punching bag, don't use it, as this will be way better. And for World 5, the same thing still applies. You want to have this big old barbell in hand, run into the World 5 portal, and you can just use the same big old barbell here to continue gaining strength. For World 6, we're back to using the max strength hand grippers, and moving on to the final world, World 7. Same thing as before. You want to get enough bicep power to where you could pick up this huge barbell at the very end, as this is the best way to gain strength in World 7. Now that you know the best way to gain strength, let's talk about how you can actually multiply your strength. Now this menu on the left hand side has a trails button. If you click that, you will see this big long list of different trails within the game that you could purchase using wins. The cheapest one being only 5 wins and ranging all the way up to 5.3 in wins. The total strength multipliers range from 105% to 400%. So this basically doubles all the way up to quadruples your total strength. And so as you progress throughout the game, you do want to upgrade your trails. But my general rule of thumb is you always want to purchase a trail that'll still leave you with some wins left over. So although on this account, I can afford the nuclear trail with 550 SX wins, because I don't want to spend virtually all of my wins on it, I'm instead going to buy the second most expensive one I can afford, the cartoon. So that way I still have a lot of wins left over and I could spend them on various things in the game. But as you can see, that upgrade right there just gave me a nice 20% overall strength boost on this account, which is a huge help, again, because it's totally free to play. Another great and easy way to boost your strength in the game is by using arms. It's also on that same menu on the left hand side of the screen, and while yours is not going to look like this with all these different crazy arms, you can head to this crate section right here, which is right below the arms, to test your luck within the game to see just what kind of arms you can get. Now every player in the game starts off with, I believe, 5 free rust crates and rust keys. The arms in this crate range from a 5% boost to a 35% boost, while the arms in the very best crate, the platinum crate, range from 600% boost all the way up to a 1000% boost. And although it might be tempting to spend Robux on keys to give yourself yourself an advantage to get ahead. Do not do this, as it is super easy to get keys within the game. You get them by defeating bosses, and every time you defeat a boss, there's a slight chance that you'll be given a key. The percent chance that you'll find a key can be found in this key drop menu within the arms section. And as you can see, the more you progress throughout the game, the bigger and better chance you have at getting some of these OP crate keys, like silver, gold, and diamond all the way up in World 7. But even in Worlds 2, 3, and 4, you still have a pretty good chance at getting gold and diamonds, which in my opinion are the sweet spot. As let's see what we're gonna get. Oh, is that a nice 420% arm? There you go. And once you're like me and you have an absolute ton of extra arms that you're not using, you can head over here to the golden machine in World 2, click the arms button, and you can combine your arms together to give it a 50% boost of its existing multipliers. So this chrome arm currently has a 650% boost, and let's see what it has now. It is now 975%. So that's another easy way to get more strength into the game, is taking old arms, combining them together, and seeing if it'll be better than your current best arm. But if you're wondering, what the heck is this golden machine and how did I just use it? Well, let me go show you guys all the machines in the game. Like I just showed you, this is the golden machine, and it's in World 2. And if you combine 5 of these same pets together, it will multiply their total strength by 50%, and it'll turn into a golden version. Over here in World 2 is also the Goliath machine. And for this, it says the Goliath pet gives 250% extra boost, but I don't really think that's actually true, because if we see, this tornado tortoise has a 4 million multiplier. If we use our bolts on it, which you get about 100 after playing this game for 2 hours, it now has a 5 million multiplier, so it's about a 25% strength boost. But in order to get a Goliath pet, you will need to have a huge pet, which you get by combining baby pets into bigs and then big pets into huges, but I'll explain that later on in the video. Next up at the beach gym, we have the void machine, which this machine gives another 50% boost to your pets. But in order to use this, you have to have a golden pet, and again, you get golden pets from using the machine in World 2. Now this typically takes 5 hours to turn a pet from golden into void, but since I have a game pass, it does it a little bit faster. And so this is a super easy and awesome machine because it's 100% success rate, and there's no chance you'll lose your pet. Next up, we have the mutate and the cure machine here in World 4. Unfortunately, right now, it's not showing the different multipliers of the different mutates, but there are 3. It is glowing, rainbow, and ghost. Glowing, I believe, gives your pet a 25% multiplier. Rainbow gives it a 35% multiplier, and ghost gives it a 100% multiplier, doubling the strength of your pets. So you mutate, freeze, spin the wheel, and we are going to get rainbow, which isn't half bad. But if you aren't happy with it and you want to try to mutate your pet again, then you can head over to the cure machine, select the pet that was just mutated, and it'll remove the mutation from it. But you do need health kits to cure your pets, and the way you get them is by spending 10 minutes in World 4 or above, which isn't bad if you AFK. And then again, you can repeat the process, test your luck, because really what you're aiming for is the ghost enchant. Ooh, that we almost got. Now the final machine here in World 7 is the Slimify machine, and this one is unique because you can only Slimify Goliath pets. And so if I were you all, I would do my best to get a Goliath pet before mutating it, because then you can Slimify it over here, which if you get the best slime, which is the 5% chance red slime, it gives your pet a 2.25x multiplier. But let's see how lucky we're gonna get. Ooh, we get the blue slime, so that I think is a 1.4x multiplier. So literally just a few minutes ago, this pet had a 4 million multiplier, but now it has a 7 million multiplier, all thanks to machines. And before I tell you guys one of the most important things in the entire video, I just want to give a friendly reminder that if you do end up getting any value from this video, then subscribing to the channel will be greatly appreciated, as I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and with your help, I really think it'd be possible. But moving on to what everyone always wants to know, how do I get more pet equips? Now obviously, the main way is by spending Robux. For 129 Robux, you can get 2 more pet equips, but of course, you guys don't want to spend Robux. And well, you're in luck, because with the recent update, you don't have to spend Robux. Instead, you can spend tokens to get the same thing, 129 tokens for 2 pet equips. And in order to get tokens, at the bottom hand of the screen, you can see that every 30 minutes, you can get 1 token for playing the game. So if you play the game for a few hours a day, or if you're on it, or if you're on the game 24/7 AFKing it, through the use of training strength, you should be able to get enough tokens to get +2 pet equips for free every 2 weeks or so. But probably the easiest way to get more pet equips for free is through the index at the spawn, because you'll see right here at the bottom, it says find 50 pets for +1 pet equip, and then +1 pet equip for every 100 thereafter. So basically, once you found 50 pets, you'll get an extra pet equip. Once you found 100, you'll get another pet equip. Once you found 200 and 300, you'll again get additional pet equip for each. And as you can see, I've discovered 157 out of the 408 total pets in the game. So that means I've got 2 pet equips for free. But the last way is through this rebirth left menu here on the side on the upgrades tab, you can see you can get 2 more pet equips for completely for free through these super rebirth tokens. And if you're wondering, how do I get these tokens? Well, it's kind of a long explanation, but I'll do my best to explain. All right, now the reason rebirths are a little confusing is because in order to get these upgrade tokens, you actually need to super rebirth, but this is a whole nother thing, and I'll explain it in just a second. The regular rebirths right here, what it does is every time you rebirth, you get an extra 15% strength boost when you're training. So currently I have a 2445% boost, but if I spend 27 Q in wins, I get an extra 15% boost. However, as you're going to see in a second, right now I have 5.5 QI strength, and after I rebirth, I have nothing. So every time you rebirth in this game, you do get the added benefit of getting some more strength percentage boost, but you do lose out on all of your current strength. Now, I know this might sound sucky, but if you want to reach a far stage in the game like World 6, World 7, you need to rebirth. It is an absolute necessity, and without it, you're just not going to go very far. Now, a general rule of thumb for rebirthing is to have a ton of wins before you do so. Right now, I have 485 SX wins, and I only need 41 QN wins, which basically means I have 10,000 times as many wins as I need. But as you see, every time you rebirth, it gets a little bit harder every single time, which is why I say, since you're going to be losing your strength when you rebirth, it's best if you basically just AFK fight a bunch of bosses, get a bunch of wins, and then go back to rebirthing. And this is also why I mentioned earlier not to waste all of your wins on a trail, because saving them for rebirths is super helpful, and we're gonna have to do this, basically use up all of our wins. And when you've reached this point where you can't rebirth anymore, no matter how long you grind and how many bosses you defeat, you just can't get enough wins for the next rebirth. This is where super rebirthing comes in, and it's how you get these stars. But it's important to note that super rebirthing resets everything except for your pets. You'll lose all your stats and worlds, but you'll gain 1 super rebirth token. So I'm gonna go ahead, click confirm, and it immediately teleports me back to the first gym because, well, we can't even escape it. But like it just said, we now have 12 tokens, which means we can go shopping here in the upgrades list. But it's important to note, if you do spend any of these tokens, as you can see right now, I have an 1160% boost. But let's say I want more pet storage. Well, oh, it actually stays the same. I thought if you spent the tokens, then you lost the boost. All right, well, that's good news. Now, believe it or not, across all of my accounts, I have super rebirth around 500 times. And the thing that I've discovered what's best to do is basically to just get a team of pets that's pretty strong before you start super rebirthing. So that way you're able to get enough strength as soon as you rebirth to beat all the bosses in all the different gyms. So that way you can progress up through the ranks, get all your rebirths, and then continue to super rebirth. And if you don't know, the little super rebirth button pops up after around 25 or so rebirths. So although again, it does suck, and it is a very tedious, very grindy process of the game, rebirthing and also super rebirthing and getting all these upgrades is something I don't think a lot of people do, but it gives you a huge boost and benefit against everyone else who isn't willing to grind. But if you want to make the rebirthing and super rebirthing process a whole lot faster and easier, then you can head to the second gym and walk up to this enchantment table here in the middle, where you'll be greeted with this. Now, there are 4 different enchants in the game. The first is the winner enchant that gives you anywhere from a 5 to 40% wins boost per pet, depending on the level of your enchant. Next up is the lucky enchant that gives anywhere from a 5 to 25% luck boost when opening up eggs. Next, we have the best friend enchant, and I'm gonna be honest, finding this best friend 5 from the enchantment table is virtually impossible, and so the best friend 4 enchant is the best to be able to find, and it makes your pet 40% as powerful as your best pet. And lastly, we have the key finder enchant, which gives you anywhere from a 1 to 4% better chance of finding keys when defeating bosses. Now, in order to get these enchants, you'll need these rebirth tokens. Now, don't worry, you don't need super rebirth tokens, just regular rebirth tokens. And so before you guys start enchanting, I highly recommend you get a good chunk of wins under your belt, because you're gonna need them, because most of these enchants cost anywhere from 15 to 40 rebirths. And as you can see, with 50 million wins, we were only able to get up to 22 rebirths. But even with 15 rebirths, we can get the best enchant by far in the game, which is the winner enchant. And although this is actually the worst version of winner, we're gonna go ahead and get it just to showcase its benefits, because with winner 2, this pet gives you additional 10% more wins. But at the moment, I have 3 winner 3 pets, and each of these give me 20% more wins. So that's 20, 40, 60% more wins for having these 3 pets equipped. Now, if you're able to get more pet equips, and I'm not saying you need 41 like my main account has, if you end up getting the max level enchant of winner 5 on all of your pets, you can literally get like 10x the amount of wins you would normally get, which means you can rebirth 10 times faster, super rebirth 10 times faster, and kind of just beat this game 10 times faster. multiplier. But of course, the lucky enchant is good. The key finder, I wouldn't even really pay attention to. And the best friend enchant, it is pretty rare to come across a good one. But I would say before anything else, you want to make sure you have a full team of winner pets, because it just helps make you beat the game so much faster. But now it is time for the final thing that helps you defeat Arm Wrestling Simulator the fastest, and probably what everyone's been wanting to hear about: how to get better pets. Now, it's really hard to give a blanket statement of do this or do that and you'll get a better pet, because for someone in World 6, they might need to do something completely different from someone all the way back in Worlds 2 or 3. But there are a few general tips and tricks I can give you guys, and also inform you on my strategy of how I was able to get almost 500 SP strength and one of the best pet teams in the entire game. So let's do this. Now, if you're early or mid game, then I would always check the right hand side of the screen to see if there is an ongoing event egg. The reason I say this is because even the very worst egg in this event egg, I think, has better stats than some of these eggs in World 4. So if you're in something like the beach, let's say, it would make way more sense for you to actually grind whatever the event egg is, because look at this: 2.5 thousand multiplier, 5,000 multiplier, 5% chance. So just with 20 eggs, you're almost guaranteed to get one of these. And if you're super lucky, you can get some best friend 5 pets or the 2 million multiplier Vault Phoenix. And so that's what I would first do: look at these eggs, look at these pets, and see if it'd be worth grinding and opening up a few. Next up for freebies, on the right hand side of the screen, the game actually gives you quite a lot of freebies, but this one in particular is the one you want to look for. It is the 4th reward. It is this egg, and if you claim it, like you just see, I got a moon owl, which only has 110 multiplier. But on my free-to-play account, from this exact egg before, wait, what is this? What egg is this? The triceratops. Ooh, that's a good one, right? Yeah, 35,000x. Look, if you just start off the game and you get a 35,000x multiplier pet, you're absolutely chilling. But I was able to get a 1.4 million galaxy alien from this free pet egg right here. So make sure you always check in to see if that's claimed. Also, in this season pass, they are giving out free eggs like this ocean egg, the season 4 egg, and the glitched egg. But let's actually see what we're gonna get. 3 of these bad boys. Some sweet fish. These all have a 1.4k multiplier, and they do come with some enchants. And so again, for all of you early to mid-game players, opening up these eggs, yeah, it definitely can be worth it at times. But honestly, prioritizing whatever event is going on is probably gonna be the best bang for your buck. But for all of you more late game players, like anyone who's in the dino world or beyond, it's probably not too much worth to grind these event eggs, and here's why. Let's go and open up one of these T-Rex eggs, and we get the white T-Rex. This has an 11,000x multiplier, but we can actually make this close to a 50,000 multiplier just through the use of some simple tricks. Now, when it comes to opening up eggs, I hardly ever open up the best egg or the most expensive egg in these worlds. I usually stick to the left-hand side, and that's because these eggs are a whole lot cheaper than these ones on the right-hand side, and they let you do something pretty fun. Now, my favorite thing to do is to take a pet, and let's just say this triceratops, for example, and get an absolute bunch of them. So that way we could turn this 35,000x multiplier into something again like 150,000x, and that is through this crafting system. So you need 3 baby pets to turn it into a big, and then if you have 9 baby pets in total, that will mean you can get 3 big pets, and then with 3 big pets you can craft it into a huge. But again, this isn't the 150,000 multiplier pet I'm talking about. Where that comes from is getting 5 huge pets, or I think 4 should be fine. Let's go test our luck here in the spaceship at the golden machine, because with our 4 huge triceratops, we'll have an 80% chance at getting a gold, which it was a success. Now this means this pet has a 105,000 multiplier, but we're not stopping there, because we can turn it into a void, which then gives it a total multiplier of 150,000. But again, we're not done, and because of the fact it is a huge, we're able to turn it into a Goliath, and we have just turned this 35,000 multiplier pet into a 175,000 multiplier. And if I was really wanting to grind it out and make this pet a 300,000 multiplier one, we could, but we'll just do a spin, see what we're gonna get. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so close. But hey, 211,000, that's almost a 10x increase in strength just from using the machines and the mechanics inside of the game. And again, the reason I chose one of these cheaper eggs is because you're gonna have to open a lot of these eggs in order to get enough pets, to get enough huges, to then turn into a gold. So that is one strategy for late game players to get better pets, is by using all the machines and turning it into a Goliath pet. But for you really late game players, I'm talking like World 6 or World 7, then the best thing you can probably do is just to have one really OP pet like this right here. Because I have 41 pet equips, there's no way I'm gonna have 41 OP pets. Instead, I can spend my time and energy on getting one really insane pet like this Goliath Ghost Cosmic Colossus Dragon with a 302 million multiplier. And then what I could do is fill the rest of my team up with a bunch of pets with best friend enchants. In particular, you'd want at least a bunch of best friend 5 pets. But fortunately enough, I was able to grind my way up to best friend 7 pets, which are 135% as powerful as my best pet. And so even though this is a 1.2 million Inferno Leviathan Serpent, because my best pet is 300 million, these all become 400 million multiplier pets, and I don't have to upgrade them at all. So even if you are a high level player, it might be worth it to grind some of these event eggs, because a best friend 5 pet or a guaranteed best friend 6 or 7 isn't a bad deal. And if you're late game, then you probably already have a pretty decent team of lucky pets. So then instead of it being 1 in 1,000, it's probably more like 1 in 100 or 1 in 200. And if you need best friend 5 pets, that's pretty good for getting some for free. So early to mid game, focus on the free eggs they give you, because they'll give better pets than whatever you can actually get from the eggs in your world. But if you're late game, try to get just one really good pet and then have the rest of your team be filled with a bunch of best friend pets, because then it makes the grind a whole lot easier. And so that is the ultimate guide to Arm Wrestling Simulator. Obviously, things can change over time. At the time of me recording this, World 7 is the highest world, but I'm assuming there's going to be a World 8 and a World 9, and who knows how far it's going to go. But these are the basic core principles I've been using since the very start of the game, and I think they're still going to apply very long into the future. So again, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel to help me at 50,000 subscribers. And if you got to this far in the video, thanks so much for sticking around. I hope you learned a thing or two, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.